Okay, so let's go ahead and set up simple render settings with a few objects I want to modify, and we'll see how long it will take it so we can compare quality and also time. So I'm going to create one cube right here. We'll put this cube on the side, and let's take our camera, just position a little bit. I don't want to create a very crazy type so we don't spend a lot of time. But overall, it will be liquid. So we'll just go ahead and select tropical water for this. Let's open a little bit, go transparency. Okay, and maybe increase, okay, let's see what we have right here. We'll just leave it as default on transparency, blur refractions 133 water, so we'll go on this one. Okay, and fading, let's add a little bit fading in. Okay, we could also add a little bit absorption scattering, but I think that will work fine for now, just as one material. We'll go to add sphere right here, and you know that this sphere will go to select, let's go to my metal, okay, and we'll go select some chrome, so it will, I think, will give us, okay, let me decrease size so I can see all of them. Okay, right there, chrome, we have mirror, yeah, let's go to the chrome. So it will have some reflections, but also not just a reflection, a little bit more. Okay, and we'll go just select pyramid, put it on a back, and that one should take quite time to render because we are going to put some translucency on this. Okay, we'll put it right there. Okay, we'll go to our materials. Let's go to see subsurface scattering. It's what we wanted, and we'll just select orange wax. Okay, a little bit smaller so we can preview, and let's have it also light source. Put it behind here, and we'll pop up a little bit power. Okay, so all what we're missing at this point, it is volumetric clouds, and we'll just do this. We'll just set one cloud. Oops, actually, I don't want this one. Okay, I want to just right click on our clouds with our clouds right here, and I want to just go ahead and add meta cloud. So we'll add meta cloud. Let's select one, and you notice right here on the back, it's added cloud on the back. So we have almost everything that is going slow. Okay, I think this is kind of look interesting and it's enough. So right this cube, I a little bit don't like it. Our liquid one, this one. So let's go ahead. Okay, we'll go there. There's just a little bit adjusting. Okay, we have murky a little bit more. Okay, we have it surface. A little bit no blur. Okay, refraction, that is what was changed. 1.3. Well, okay, that should work just fine. Okay, let's go click OK. Yeah, now it's looked properly. And as well, let's go select this cube, sphere, move it out. So we have our reflection, we have our translucency, and I don't think actually translucency will work very well, except if we're going to modify our material. I go to translucency tab, and maybe just increase depth a little bit more on material, which will provide quite a bit grainy look, if I'm right. And we'll just make a little bit more in the depth. So all I want to see a little bit right here. You can see already on the edges we have our translucency going down there. Okay, a little bit increasing, and let's switch scattering to darker. There you go. Okay, I think that should be good. And at this point, just going in render, and right here we'll go set 800 by 450. And we'll start with our OpenGL, and I'll have it just default right now quality. Let's go click OK, and we'll go and click render. Okay, let's go right here. And you can see how fast it's almost instant 0, 0. So it's pop up quite a bit. But remember what I says, look at the quality. We have it no transparency. We have it nothing here, no translucency and no reflection. Again, it's super fast. It's like almost with preview. And it's worked very well maybe for testing animations, testing layout and every other things. So let's go to next. We'll go to preview. And again, if it's take a little bit longer, I will pause tutorial and we'll come back from this. So okay, we'll go right there. Let's go click render. You can see it's take just a little bit longer, but we also have it some already all this effect. Again, we don't have a transparency that I can kind of showing, but you can see right here we'll start with lighting. Our shadows does not going to process properly, but it's much better because we can preview now materials, and it's still relatively quite a bit fast. So if we look, it takes 7 seconds to render. Again, notice this, the render time, it is also depend on what computer you're using. And if you notice on the below, I'm using 16 core, actually it's 8 core, 16 virtual. So, but overall it's using the processor with more cores, and it's a faster computer. So it does affect a little bit on what computer you're using for this. But overall, right here is our preview. So let's go to next and we'll switch to the final. And again, I'm just using all presets default, so I don't use any other options. We'll go ahead, click render on this. Notice it's take a little bit longer already. So it's take the time, and most noticeably right there when we going with volumetric on the clouds, it took a little bit time here. Also in our processing going in the transparency where we have refractions, all this and reflections was kind of faster, but in the water. So this is hopefully give you some ideas. Okay, we're done here. You know what? Let me disable after exposure on this one. Okay, and it's take 25 seconds. So we increasing, but the quality look on the shadows right there on the bottom. So if we look right, these shadows right here, compare with previous, you see how now preview and other ones. So many times when I work, I start using kind of like previews in this way, and the final render, this is actually you can start using in your production, so it's not that bad. Okay, next we'll go to right click render and going on a broadcast. Usually it won't should be any different, all what is motion blur, and we don't have any animations on this one. Okay, so right here we're done. Let's click OK, and it's take about same time 33, and it should be look exactly the same because we don't have animations, but everything else it's same properties. Okay, then now we're going in more time to render. So this is definitely, I will pause when it's render, or except if you want to see it and watch the grass grow, so we can do that as well. Okay, let's go there, right there, click on render. And for this scenery size shouldn't be that big different, but it's already, you can see, take a little bit longer. But right here, quality, you can see on the edge, and we can look closer. Some of those translucency, right, the grain should be look much smoother and better quality. Okay, so it's done. Let's go click OK, and you can see it's increased from 33 to 48. Still be not bad, it's below a minute. But right here, quality, so we can actually I don't know if you can see on this. In some cases it's maybe too small, but in some cases right here very hardly can see the grain, but it does edge. If you can kind of like almost look up a little bit to this edge, you can see slightly change, but again it is not that big visible at this point, but it does increase render, and most important, it's increase how many times ray travel. I'll show you after. When we put 2 mirrors up front each other, you can actually see how many times the ray will calculating and transfer. Okay, so on this image we don't have that big different, maybe only on a cloud we can see a little bit, but not that much. Okay, so again, if we have it fog and other ones, we'll probably see quite a bit different. But again, we'll just go with the speed of render right now. So I'll go to Ultra, it's 77. So let's go ahead and click and render this. This should take more calculations. The Gauss stick will take much longer, but it should be more accurate for us. The lights and water would transfer through the some semi-transparency or through our translucent material as well. Okay, so we're done with this. Let's go look. It's already quite a bit jump up. And let's look right here. Most time you won't even see it, the quality. However, from my personal experience, when you have it rendered with higher scenery, you have it less grain. But again, this image is not maybe the best for this. Overall, I just want to look on a time is increasing. But again, this is very good example actually to see the quality that you have it from very fast preview, like right here preview, and we had final, to if we jump to this super quality, you don't see that much different at all. It looks same. So in this case, increase in the quality is not necessarily will provide that quality jump in result for you. So just start render on the final, and if some elements does not render properly, you want increase the quality does not satisfy, then start moving to other options if you want to preset, so it will increase in those elements. But in many cases, for me personally, when I work with a lot of productions, I'm just using final preset because in many cases it will provide a very good render just on that settings, and it's work exactly the same in many cases. But again, right here we'll just look on render time right now, and it's 1 minute, so it's jump quite a bit. It's add additional minute from the final to the superior quality. Okay, let's go next render, and now we have a path tracer. So we'll go ahead, click OK on this. I want to leave as default value for now. Okay, and let's go ahead, click render. You'll notice how it's different. So it does not take a bit packet to calculate it like before. It's take areas and calculating. Now it's work a little bit differently as well. Okay, and also right here we was looking only a bit performance, and you can see it was loading all CPUs, and as well it was loading on our GPU, little bit loading, not as all the way up, but it's still kind of using. As well, you can see the what I'm using. It maybe help to you. So it's using GPU 8, and I think it's RTX 2070. It's what I'm using here, and as a CPU, it is 8 cores, but it's a logical 16 processor, so it's separate on them. But overall, this is what kind of loading was going with this. Let's go click OK, and right here is kind of interesting. Notice right there, as a water we have this displacement on a water native, and now it is just a transparency cube. It does have it very interesting how it's processed, but it does not apply some of these properties, so kind of keep in mind. Reflections, again, right here you can notice our terrain materials, it is prestigious material was applied to our ground texture, so and it's not there anymore, so we'll remove it as well. Little bit with the processing on our cube, on our translucency material, so we're still passing, but it's there. So again, the materials inside the view with this obviously acting differently. So in just the experiment as we're going, I want to see the quality different. We'll go inside, we'll just a quality pop up. Let's go to increase maximum samples. So it will take quite a bit time. We'll just pop up all of this. Let's go ahead, click OK, and render. So this will take, should be a little bit more, and you can see right here the sampling work a little bit more as well. And it's only 2%, so I'm going to pause and come back when render is completed. Okay, so as render completed, as render is going, still in progress, I want to just check. And you can see utilizations going about 16, 17, so it does not actually utilize all the way. And I noticed right here, it is actually RTX 2070. Also, if we look on CPU, it's going 100% utilizations on all processors, so it's utilized, but the GPU on 3D, I was hoping it will utilize a little bit more to showing me how much it is actual utilizations, how many processors going. And I could switch to the CUDA right here, so it's what we switched already, and it is utilized only 10% of those processors. So it does not necessarily give it full load on them, but it does help with some speed and increasing a little bit on that one. Okay, so let's go minimize this, and you can see with 34% it is still a little bit better on those removing noises, so it's calculating process a little bit more. and we'll come back in a second when render is done. Okay, so right here we have a done render. Let's click OK. You notice it took 5 minutes, almost 30 seconds to render. The compare quality right there, a little bit on the sun, definitely it's lighting. We have a little bit more problem with the graining going around, but it does remove a little bit more. So we can increase quality a little bit more, maybe play around, but overall you can see increasing. And we'll render a little bit more with the new render path tracing. So when we're going to use it, PBR materials, so we can see how the displacement will affect them and other effect, because a little bit different way you need to access them. Well, I mean, preset some materials. Okay, we kind of test this one. Let's go next. We have it user settings, and user settings, it is where we can modify everything. So we don't need worried about, well, we can increase this one. Let's go check on properties, and we can go even fast 100. So let's go pop up 10. We'll go crazy. Okay, we'll see how long it will take. We don't need optimize less render pass. We don't do this. We can apply motion blur because we don't use it, so it will be ignored. But overall, we can apply this one. We can force it. We don't need plants. We don't have it ignore lighting, but hey, why not? Okay, we'll go edit some of these properties. And how I said, we could increase inside, but what we're going to do instead, we'll just pop up quality quite a bit higher, 100%. Now we have it all time to spend for this. Okay, texture anti-aliasing. Let's edit this one, properties. And again, we'll go a little bit crazy here, crazy there. Just, increase to the better quality. Because I don't like my computer, so let's burn more anti-aliasing. We can also GPU increasing. Reuse, we don't need this one. This will bake lighting to original. It's nice working on some animations. We don't need here. And so we'll just ignore this one. We have some other properties here, and I'm just enable anything that is actually will take more time. So I want to ignore those ones rendering. Okay, we'll set this stuff. I think that is good enough. Let's go click render. And I think it's a good time to go take some break. Okay, I don't need that break because apparently I said something wrong. We have no reflections. I forgot I check some boxes. But overall, you can see it's look very ugly and very fast. So let's see what other properties in user settings we set. So we need to disable some of those ones. Property. Okay, we'll remove this one, which is give us the black node. Okay, compute physical, indirect lighting on a plant. We'll deselect this one. Okay, energy conserving, aliasing GPUs. I think that is good. Okay, let's go ahead now. Okay, and you can see it's actually start render quite a bit fast. So it's 28. It still be better than Ultra one right here. But you notice the different in settings with custom. We lost some of this lighting going from the back, so we're ignoring that lighting. Right here, some refractions different. Okay, same, but rest is kind of looking okay. So overall, on the speed settings, even when we went to our presets, even on this one, will still pop up. We're still creating a different effect. And we'll look, we'll go and we'll look a little bit closer on all these presets. What does the selecting, how they will affect, how those small properties will work on us. Overall, we preview some of the settings. We saw how we can different between OpenGLs, Broadcast Superior, and Path Tracer new ones. We also a little bit showing with user settings how we can modify to have a different effect, so we can have it all the maps was producing or other things. And let's go ahead and next tutorial just look a little bit more on the render destinations and how what engines using to render right here inside. What's different between external or render nodes where we can stop cows. We not necessarily will do this, but we'll look on those ones close.